Warning: the YouTuber you are about to watch does not care about your one view. So don't think he will kiss your ass to keep you watching. If you talk shit, he will talk shit back. If you become rude, you will be blocked. Enjoy.
Alright, so I'm at home trying to situate this trailer a little bit better. You know, every time I come home, I've learned something on the road, trying to adapt, trying to make everything better. So I think what I'm going to do, we had that big toolbox bolted to the top up there, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this winch and I want to bolt it to the top of this plate right here, up here. Therefore, that toolbox had to go. Plus, I think it was catching a lot of wind. So I think what I'm going to do is switch back to the little box that we had on the big techs. Problem is, the little box, these little corners hit on each side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark those corners and I'm going to cut straight up to where that thing will sit down in there. And then I have some scrap aluminum, rather than break out the welder and all that. I don't need, it doesn't need to be all that, but what I'll probably do, just take a piece of aluminum, bend it around, and I'll just rivet it to that. And that's just to keep moisture from getting in there and getting our blankets wet. So that's what we use that for. We put our blankets in that. And that'll keep them from getting wet and freezing and having to deal with all that mess. So I'm gonna mark this, then we'll cut it, set it back down in there. We'll see what it looks like here. All right, both sides are cut. Let's go test fit it. Boom, just like that. I mean, I don't even know if I'll have to add those pieces, to be honest. The only concern I have now is this toolbox right here gonna open. I wasn't even thinking of that. All right, so here's the update on this winch. Basically what I did was I drilled 2 holes through the toolbox here, and I've got these rubber grommets. You can get these from Harbor Freight pretty cheap. I use them for all sorts of things. Basically, you just drill a hole and you stick this rubber grommet through, and then whatever size wire you need. I think it's like $5 at Harbor Freight. Anyways, that's what I did. I drilled a hole, stuck the rubber grommets in, pushed the wires through. We hooked it up to the winch here, and then it comes with this crazy control module that I'll have to mount to the box here, and then we'll connect it to the battery, and I'll probably make some type of a strap to keep this battery from bouncing around. Really, we won't really need that unless the box doesn't have the blankets in. Once you pile the blankets in here, it'll hold everything still, but I'll probably still take like a strap or something, just to keep that secure, and then we'll have to hook this up. And then now this comes with if I can find it, this cable right here, and then that's what you connect the controller to. Now I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about this, because I want to run a wireless controller. You can get those from Harbor Freight for like $30. I might just leave this in here, and I think you plug the one part of the wireless controller into this port here. I don't know, we'll have to see how that goes, but we'll just mount that to the side of the box and kind of zippy tie all these cables, and then we'll have a winch. And everybody told me to get a winch, and I said no, but now that I had to buy one, it doesn't weigh that much. I don't think it's really going to cost that much weight. And I don't know, after hand winching that orange sign on, that thing was a complete pain in the butt. And then what I'm going to do to keep this battery charged is I'm going to run a wire from the battery charging wire that's on the trailer battery for the brakes. I'm going to run that back here so it'll keep this battery charged. And then also, if I ever get stopped by DOT again and that battery went bad, this battery will still run the brakes. So it'll be a double battery system for the trailer brakes. So that'll be even good there too. And like I said, this is for a motorcycle anyways. That's a motorcycle battery. I'm pretty sure it's 12 volt. I checked it with the meter. That meter isn't the greatest in the world. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we'll give it a shot here once we get it all hooked up. All right, so while testing the motorcycle battery that I just put in the truck, I wanted to make sure that it was actually charging. Well, I got to looking at the battery box that's in the truck, and it looked like it was missing a wire. So I come over to the Big Techs. As you guys know, where's it at? We had the battery go bad in this, so I bought this box, which I'm probably going to buy one for the other trailer too. Anyways, this shows you when it's charging, and I know the charge light works when the truck's running, right? But I checked the voltage on the battery with the truck running, and the voltage didn't change. So I came over here. Actually, I was like, I think there's a wire missing. So from this box, there's 3 wires coming from this box. One being the charge wire, which is this red wire right here that the other trailer doesn't have. So I don't know what they expect you to do. Stop and charge that trailer battery every once in a while? I have no idea. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is this red wire right here is the charge wire. I'm going to go ahead and run me a wire from that pigtail over there to charge. So let me walk over there. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so I got this, I don't know, I guess that's a relay really, if you think about it. It's just a giant relay that gets activated when you push the trigger on the remote here. But so we've got that mounted. I've got the power wire running now from the battery up there, and I've got it grounded here. So now we're getting 14.5 volts back to this battery and to the other one, so that's good. That's going to start charging that battery, and that'll keep this one charged as well. I'm not really sure what they expected you to do with this. I'm sure these are some type of fuses or relays here as well. Probably fuses really, because you don't want it hitting the metal back here, because then it'll spark. What I may do is just find a rag or a sock or something, wrap this up real good, and then zippy tie it. That way it can't touch anything back here. And I think what I'll eventually end up doing is shortening these wires so this isn't such a mess. But I don't have time today, so I'm just trying to get it all set up now and get it working. All right, another update. Check this out. So it comes with this pigtail here, and I mounted it in the toolbox. I was just going to open up the toolbox and just plug it in. It would give me some extra wire. But I like to strap my tarps on top of the toolbox. And I don't want to have to take my tarps off every time I have to go use the winch. So I mounted this into the toolbox. And you just plug the hand controller into that I can't seem to find right now. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know. What did I do with that thing? Oh, it's right here. Bam. So you just take this, plug it into this. It's got a notch that you have to line up, just like that. And then it doesn't work. Just like that. I don't know why it's stopping when I'm trying to go in. Oh, and then I wrapped those fuses up with that rag and then zip tied it so it wouldn't touch. But there it is. I'm just not sure why it's not working all the time. All right, so this green wire has a nipple on it right here to connect the, it comes with a handlebar mount. That was touching the toolbox and grounding itself out. So I'll probably, what I could do is pull this, I can pull this sleeve up over top of this so that metal doesn't touch. And then now we have, bam, just like that. Alright guys, a little bit of an update for the car guys on the channel. Just got done cutting out a, it's a panel. I'll show you guys where it goes. But basically this panel is going to go gonna mount all my relays and my switchboard, and I don't know if I'll mount my I run a Holley ECU computer for the drag car. I don't know if I'll mount that to that or not, but that's basically when I bought this house, it had a stop sign. I think it's a stop sign, some type of a sign, hung up in the garage here. And I just use it. I cut it up. Okay, it's a dead end sign. I just use it. I just use it for metal. I'm trying to charge Lita's car. It's been sitting so long it won't start. This is what happens when you're gone for so long. Everything just falls apart. The garage that you spent days cleaning before you left is now trash because your kids have been in here messing around. But before I left, I finally got the turbos plumbed. So that's it there. That's the blow-off valve, and then the turbos sit down here. The headers come here, and the turbos are sitting down there. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I don't have this fender on. Right there, and then I'm going to run the exhaust through the A-arms back this way, and then underneath the car, and then the wastegates sit right here. Man, it's kind of dark in here. I hope you guys can see that. So that's it. I've got this plumbed up though. I don't have these clamps tight yet, but I've just got a little bit more wiring to do. I'm considering go ahead and chopping the front end off and tubing the front end while I have it out this far, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then because the turbos sit so low, they won't drain into the pan because they actually kind of, the drain plug sits lower than the pan. So I'm having to run a scavenger pump. Basically, when the turbos drain oil, that'll just suck the oil and then return it back to the pan for me. As you can see, my shop is a wreck. There's parts everywhere. But the panel that I'm making, that I showed you guys out there, that's gonna go, that goes right here. And I welded these tabs on here and put some nut rivets. So I'll just hold that panel up there and then bolt it to here. And then I'm gonna move, when I first wired the car, my first initial reaction was to hide all my, everything up behind the dash. But now that I've been out at the track and I've been hanging out with, you know, my guys a little bit more, I see now that it's even though it'll look like a race car, and I don't really want it to look like a race car, when you have wiring issues, it's easier to figure out when you don't have to take your dash off and deal with all that. But right there, man, it's so dark in here. Let me see if I have a flashlight in here. So we are up at Langdale Ford in Valdosta. When I got home, we got a letter in the mail saying that there was a recall on the truck. There's been a few of them, but just little minor things. This one says that if you're in an accident, something in the B-pillar with the seat belts can cause a fire in the truck. So since I'm home, I figured we'd swing up here and get this done. Lita's looking for a parking spot, but here we are. All right, so we got home and Lita made us some breakfast, and we got a phone call from Ford saying that they can't fix the truck because the bed's in the way. I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but I wasn't sure. I was just hoping for the best, honestly. As soon as the phone started ringing, I was like, yeah, that's Ford saying that we have to move the bed. So now we're up here. They need us to take the bed out, and they need us to take pretty much everything out of the back, probably, huh?
Access to the carpet, whatever.
Access to the carpet. So they need all that junk taken out. Which, honestly, I was thinking about taking the bed out anyways. And that guy, Philip, that I met, he had a really nice setup. He was kind of a tall guy. I'm not that tall, but I was thinking about taking out this seat and building my bed this way. And then that would give me a whole lot more room to kind of get dressed in the mornings. I don't know. Since the bed's going to be out, we're going to put everything in the back of the GMC. And then when we come to pick up the Ford, I'll take a better look at everything and maybe lay down in there and see what it's like. But for now, we have to take this bed out. Man, that looks weird, huh?
Fucking mess.
Golly, you'd think somebody lived in this thing. Dang. how much crap accumulates. And I usually vacuum this thing out every single time.
What are these from?
Those were holding the inverter on.
I'm gonna put them in here, okay?
Yeah. What would be weird though is with this inverter here, if I plan to put the bed this way,
Why?
do I build it up as high as the inverter and then crossed? Because I was planning on staying as close to the floor as I can. My head would be up on this. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You have to look at it now that you don't have a bed in here. Look what it did to the sides, dude.
Oh, dang. Is that from the wood?
Yeah.
That's the fire extinguisher. Oh, but you can see that side. The wood did it to that side, too.
Yep.
All right, so my phone died the other day when I was trying to show... Actually, it was yesterday. When I was trying to show you guys the wiring mess that I'm having to deal with this car right now. But I think I was trying to show you guys I had my Holly computer mounted on a panel over here. I'll probably keep that there because I've already shortened some of the wires that are running up to the engine and all. But I can move, like I got some fuel pump relays and some fan relays. And I got that metal piece mounted that I painted up and made. And this is where we're going to put all our relays and stuff right here on this. So I'm going to start mounting some relays now. Today's the same day that we dropped the truck off at the Ford place, because there's a recall on something to do with the seatbelt system. If you're in an accident, it can cause a fire. So I'm not sure what they're doing to fix that issue, but we have the day off worrying about that right now. So we're going to work on this. All right, guys, we just picked up the Ford from the dealership for that recall. I don't know if I said it before. Basically, there's a recall that if you're in an accident, there's a possibility that something to do with inside this pillar and the seat belt could cause a fire. I don't know if it's affecting only the 2019s or what. I don't know how. I'm not sure how recalls work. Like, does it happen to a couple of trucks and then they're like, oh, we have to bring these in before we get sued? What gets me is, you know, they send out these recalls because they as a company messed up. I can turn right on red here. I don't know what I'm doing. They messed up, right? So you have to take time out of your day and adjust your schedule to go have something fixed at the company that you just spent $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 on a vehicle for, right? I still haven't got a phone mount, guys. I'm sorry. I can't find one I like. A lot of people mention the RAM mount. I looked at a lot of reviews. A lot of people are saying it's just a really big, bulky deal. And I don't like how long it takes to get in and out of the actual mount. Anyways, getting back at this whole recall thing. So you have to take time out of your day to get this done. And then you get the truck back, and they didn't do so much as even give you a free car wash, or like they didn't vacuum out the back. And I don't know, am I asking too much? I don't think I am. You know, you spend all this money with Ford. Now they don't care. It's not coming out of this dealership's pocket. It's coming out of the Ford Motor Company's pocket. They get paid. All they do is bill Ford Motor Company, and they just got paid to do what they just had to fix for me. But the least they could have done was like give you a free car wash or something, you know? I don't know. Anyways, I guess the truck's fixed now. I guess we won't know if it actually works until we run into something. This mount is going to drive me nuts. So the magnet that sticks, or the piece of metal that sticks to the phone case and sticks to the magnet, it's not holding on anymore, so it just fell off. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to I got Philip sending me some pictures of his truck on how he has his bed and everything set up. I'll probably go home. It's getting a little dark right now. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. It's 6 o'clock. 70 degrees in South Georgia, and it's February. Is it February? I don't know. It should be cold. So anyways, Philip's gonna send me some pictures of how his truck's set up. I'm gonna pull that seat out. I'm gonna kind of stretch out before I spend all the time and all the money with the wood and everything, and then see if we like it. All right, guys, we are working on the truck's bed again. I had my buddy Philip send me some pictures. I got kind of an idea of what I want to do. We have this piece of plywood cut out. Kind of show you where it's going to go. And I'm going to change that up, actually, now that I've been thinking about it. So basically, I'm going to come over from this edge jamb over to where I can still plug something into this port. And then we're going to come over about that height all the way back. The only thing holding us off is this, you know, I could take that bracket off. I might take that bracket off, because this little nub of this jack holder is kind of messing with me. Anyways, and then then the skinnier part of that board is going to go up that way. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it straight right here, and then I'm going to add another board up there. And basically what that's going to let me do is, if Lita, like if I come home and I have a short run up to, you know, Atlanta or down to Orlando or something, and I want Lita to go, I can just snatch my mattress out, unscrew that section, set my seat back down, and she can ride. And that shouldn't take 30 minutes. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then what we're going to do, I've got my fridge sitting there. We're going to kind of build a shelf system over here. I'm probably going to level this part off. That's going to be for my bags. And then I'll ask Philip. I'm sure he won't mind if I include his pictures. He's got a real nice shelf system built with his microwave. I'm not going to stick my microwave back in because I don't know. I don't want to have to deal with the microwave deal. But yeah, that's basically where we're at right now. I just got done vacuuming this side out a little bit, and then I need to measure these blocks. I'm going to stick these blocks back up. He mentioned he did some angle iron, and he bolted it all in place and stuff. He's changed his 3 times. He said the first time he built it, he wasn't happy at all with it. The second time it got better, and the third time he's super happy with it. So who knows? He may end up changing a little bit more. I may end up changing a little bit more. Who knows? But this is what we got. This is where we're at this point, and I'll show you guys some more when we're done. All right. So what I've done for the back here is I just had a piece of wood like this 2x6. I stuck it over top of these bolts. And then I smacked down on it with a hammer on each side, and that marked where to drill. Basically, all I did was drilled a few holes for those bolts to slide up in. Once I screw my bed to this will hopefully keep it from sliding back and forth. My other bed, it used to slide back and forth, and I'd have to kind of pick it up and pull it back. The covers and the pillows would get stuck back here, and it would slowly start pushing the bed forward. So I'm hoping this will keep it from sliding. Plus, I had to pick it up above these bolts anyway, so there's that. All right, so now what we'll do is, now we have a level point that we can level off of, and we can measure down from that point. And then that'll show us where we need to cut on our 4x4s. All right, we got our bed nice and level. I notched these corners a little bit because the bed was scratching up the plastic before. So what I'm probably gonna do is maybe stick something down in here, which honestly back here isn't too big of an issue, because once you put the seats back in here, you can't see the scratches on the back, but these front ones, I thought about maybe sticking like an old sock in here or something, keep it from rubbing that. And then I had to notch this side a little bit too. because it was rubbing on that a little bit. So now I have to measure for this front piece, and we'll put that one in. All right, so I got my supports cut for up here. I think what I'm going to do is kind of overlap this side, just to keep from cutting 2 more of these. And then when we go to remove the seat, I'll just pop a couple of screws out here, I think, and slide those back so the seat can fit in here. It's just to keep from having to cut 2 more. Save some weight, save some time. I don't know, I'm going to set that board down in here and see what it looks like. I think with this though, it's going to give me room to stick all my clothes and stuff under here and stuff that we'll need. I was going to go all the way up to the front. As you guys know, I had a fuse that popped. Actually, that was underneath the hood. There's a fuse panel under here though. I guess if I had to, I could just fold this mattress back and pull this board out and then get to that fuse panel if I have to. It wouldn't be ideal, but hopefully I won't have to access that fuse panel too many times. All right, so after cutting the foam and kind of laying down in here, my feet come to a little bit past this right here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just grab a piece of foam. I'm going to cut it to size, and then we're going to move this board back, and then that'll allow us access to this down in here, and that'll allow us to maybe put like the bigger bag right here or something. Also, when you go to cut your foam, what you want to look for to cut it with is a fine serrated knife. Go into your wife's kitchen and grab her nicest knife and make sure it has like nice fine serrades. The bigger the teeth, the more it's going to catch on the foam. So now what I'm going to do is just take a piece of this foam, measure it, and we'll probably glue it to the other piece and see what that looks like. All right, so the only glue I have is Elmer's glue. I must have sniffed up all the other glue, but we'll give this a shot, see if this holds. Whew, looking rough, look at that. Here's a rant that's unrelated to Hotshot. Walmart refuses to employ people to check you out, so they make you check yourself out. They don't give you a discount for this, as I'm sure you know. And then they employ somebody to stand at the door and then harass you for your receipt. Nah, not me. If I'm paying for the product and checking myself out, you're not going to harass me for the receipt. You're not going to act like I stole something. If you want to make sure I didn't steal something, employ somebody to check me out. All right, so I had to run down to Lowe's because we needed a few more 2x4s and some plywood. That's the next platform I built. Let me walk around and show you guys here. Ran to Walmart and got some random plastic bins. So what I'm thinking with this, this lets us slide our refrigerator in. It's the exact height that the bed was at before. So the bed used to be this high, and then the foam mattress was up here, and then we had that little bit of room here. So what I'm thinking now is leave this where it is and maybe come up a little bit higher. I'm not sure. But what this will allow me to do is maybe I'll put my dog's bed right here. That way when they ride with me, when I'm sleeping, I can sleep over there and they can sleep here. I'm going to go ahead and screw this down in place. I did the same thing. So I took a 2x4 and I laid it across here. You've got some bolts that come up here that the seats rest on. I cut the 2x4 to fit, and then I held the 2x4 where I wanted it, and then I smacked down on the 2x4 and it showed me where to drill. And then basically I just drilled a hole right straight through so the board could sit flush on this. I was hoping the bolts would be long enough I could just put a nut back on top of it, but it seems pretty sturdy. I think it'll be okay. So let me screw this down. I bought some plastic bins. We'll see what we can do for some room here. Maybe if I don't know. Let's screw this down. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So this is the next step. I decided to go ahead and build some shelves down here, and then one of the dogs can sleep up here. So I've got a couple of these, and then I've got this this drawer right here that will, I'm gonna screw this bottom piece down, but that'll give me some clothing storage, maybe some food storage, and then I've got some other bins, like I said, on the other side that I should be able to access from the other side. But basically what I did was I cut these boards 30 inches, which is how wide this is, and then I measured up to see how far I needed to be above all this, and then I screwed these in, and then I'll just come up underneath this plywood right here to hit this 2x4. That way I don't have to take all this thing apart. If I ever have to take it apart again, I can just come up under here, take those screws out, and then that'll take that top piece off. All right, there she is. We're all screwed down. I've got one more of these I'm going to set here. I made it to where a drawer would pull out. There's another piece that goes on top of here. I don't know if I'm going to put it on here. It's this lid piece. This has been sitting in my closet for a while, and since it's dipped down kind of like that drawer catches on it. But I had to come up this high to clear those other ones. So let me show you what it looks like on the other side here. I got a mess out here. Just like that. And then I bought these black ones here too. That should fit under here like that. I'll probably keep like a couple of tools and stuff in here. Maybe my triangles up here or something. I don't know. We'll see. I've got all that weight sitting on there because we glued that on there. Maybe it'll work, maybe not. If not, I'll just run up the store and get some more glue. But that'll be cool. I got to bring out one of my dogs and let him get up there, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so we got our impact charger mounted under here. I notched this board here so that this impact could slide in and out like that, so it'd stay out of the way. And then we'll just put our George Foreman and a couple other random things in here. Extension cord, I got to get the extension cord over. Yeah, it's almost there. Got the bed made. I like it. Man, it's a lot more room in here too. I can stretch out. I can put my legs up over here if I have to. Man, so nice. Philip is the man. And there's that side. I took the containers out that I had over here and stuck my coffee pot in here. I don't normally make coffee, but I want the option. And then we just stuck some food in here. I need to find somewhere to, I stuck a couple of things back in here. I got my snow scraper brush. Probably need to find somewhere to stick some bread. Maybe I'll stick the bread in here so it doesn't get crushed. Oh, we'll stick our bag of clothes here. And that should be good. Maybe next time I'm back, I'll maybe sand this up a little bit. Because I can already see I'm going to be getting some splinters from that. And maybe we'll paint it up. If it works out, if I like the way it suits. But I think I will. I think I'm going to like it a lot more. I still have to clean out the driver's side. Go through all this crap. One of the things I'm doing while we're home is I ordered enough transmission fluid, and we're going to do all the diffs in the transfer case. One thing I noticed on this 2019 F250 is it did not come with a drain plug. Now it says on the transmission that the gasket is reusable, so that's good because the filter the filter I bought did not come with one, so that's probably why. But I was on some forums and I guess they just randomly put some on. Some people have King Ranches and they didn't even put one on, so I've just loosened up a couple of the back corner ones and it's slowly dripping right now. I think this thing takes 16 quarts, so I'll probably be here for a while. All right, so we got the pan dropped, and I'm draining the front diff right now. But this is the magnet in the pan. See how much Just a little bit of metal fragment on it. It's not too bad though. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Alright, so I woke up this morning and last night I basically drained everything except for the transfer case. It just got too dark. I couldn't do anything. So I woke up this morning. We got the diff covers off. We've got the gasket material cleaned off of that. And I took some degreaser and I just cleaned the whole things up real good. Now I'm going to use gray RTV gasket sealant, is what Ford uses anyways to seal these. These didn't come with a gasket, just gasket maker. I'll smear a little bit on the diff covers and the diff itself. If you wait a little bit and let it get a little tacky and then stick the cover on, that's usually best. And then, like I said, I still have to drain the transfer case. I'm going to fill... Actually, I can't fill these up because all my jack stands are being used on the Mustang. I've got the F250 pulled up on Rhino ramps. And you want to fill these level, and you want to fill the transfer case level. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and install these. I'll drain the transfer case, and then I'll probably push the truck off the Rhino ramps, and then we'll fill everything back up to where it needs to be. Alright, so you guys remember that magnet that I showed you that was in the transmission pan? Yeah, there it is. And the pan's already been installed. Guess who gets to pull the pan back off?